Hi Jessie fam, it's your girl Jessie here. I am here at the location of where Granny Dollar's cabin used to stand. Where my GPS said it was standing was a little bit more down this way, but there's some cabins down there. I read online that the chimney still stands, but I'm not seeing anything. So I don't know if they tore that down or if maybe that little thing right there might have been where it was. I'm not really sure. But anyway, guys, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about Granny Dollar for those of you that have never heard of her. She is sort of a local legend in this area of Desoto, where the Desoto Falls is in Fort Payne, Alabama. So she was a Cherokee. Her dad was a Cherokee Indian. Her mother was scotch-irish. And they lived in Buck's Pocket on Sand Mountain, Alabama, which is close to where I live. I'm on Lookout Mountain. And when the Trail of Tears started, they hid out in a cave somewhere close to the Tennessee River and moved to Atlanta eventually. Her husband and father died in the Civil War, and eventually she moved back here. I'm not sure exactly when, and at some point she married another man when she was 79 years old, and he lived about 20 years before he passed. Some point after her husband died, she became homeless, and she came to this area. This property used to belong to a colonel, and she came to see him about finding lodgings or help, and some local boys told her to just stay in this cabin that was around this property right here. And when the colonel came back and saw she was living in the cabin, he said he was fine with it, and she always had a corncob pipe in her mouth and her little dog Buster. Granny used to read palms, tell people their fortunes, and helped them out with some things, and she also told them many stories of her life. And when she moved to this area, she was so popular, that's when she got the name of Granny Dollar, even though she didn't have any children of her own. And she started becoming sick, and when she knew she was fixing to die, she had saved up some money. When the people came to sit with her and be with her as she passed, she told them about this money. But while her funeral was going on, somebody came and stole that money. And that money, I think it was like $23, it was money to pay for her headstone. She was buried out at Little River Cemetery, which I'm fixing to carry you to next. And the fact that she didn't have a headstone didn't sit well with her spirit, and she was constantly seen out through here walking around with her dog. So since she didn't get a proper headstone, she haunted this area for many years. And it was said that in 1973 the citizens got together, raised some money for her a headstone, and the haunting seemed to cease, or at least died down. But her dog was always seen here. Now, after she died, her dog became a little bit insane. People tried to coax him into them off the property, to take him home with them, to shelter him, to give him food. He wouldn't have anything to do with anybody. He growled and snarled and became violent. And it went on for so long that the citizens thought the humane thing to do would be to chloroform him, put him to sleep so he wouldn't grieve himself to death or starve to death. So she and her dog have been seen in the area. Like I said, in 1973, the hauntings died down somewhat when they finally put her headstone up. But her dog is still more prevalent of a spirit than she is right now. And so that is sort of some of the story of Granny Dollar. And some people still seem to see her and feel her spirit around. So I was just looking on Google Maps, and the cabins and all that I see back here, they're supposed to be on the other side of these woods. It's just a short distance in the woods. It says it's Granny Dollar Holler Cabin Rentals. So they must have destroyed whatever was left. I'm assuming it could be her chimney still over there. But since it's a rental area, I don't want to go down in there and disturb anybody. But yeah, this is the spot where her cabin used to stand. Okay guys, I have made it to Desoto Falls, which is one of the spots where the spirit of Granny Dollar is supposedly seen. It's not far from where her cabin was. We may or may not see her spirit, but we will see some beautiful scenery if we don't. So let's check out the falls, guys. Fishing. This place is closed. It's at sunset, so I can't be here long. Wow. This is beautiful.
Isn't that awesome? Does that work?
Huh?
Does that work pretty good? Like keeping it pretty still?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Hey, look what happened.
Oh. Sunset at Desoto State Falls. Isn't that beautiful? Hi, good. To body and soul, give strength, where nature may heal and pray, and places to play in, as well as bread. Everybody needs beauty. That's so pretty. So I'm back up at the top. And supposedly Granny Dollar can be seen from time to time with her dog walking this area. It's really pretty. And the moon is out this evening over the falls. Isn't that pretty?